Good evening, good afternoon, good night, and good morning. I know, right? I was just thinking the exact same thing, Mike. I was thinking the exact same thing. Your facial expression gave it all away. I was like, yo, what the hell?
Right.
30 seconds ago was the screen completely different. Exactly. I went away, Danielle went away. Everybody was like, oh, doing the show by ourselves tonight. Nah, I know it's all good. But good evening, good afternoon, good night, and good morning. Y'all know what time it is. My bad, we started a little bit late tonight. We had to talk about a few things prior to this show. Actually, we was getting ready to get into a decent conversation prior to the show. Mm-hmm. Which y'all, I don't know how y'all feel about that. Sometimes I'm like, sometimes I just want to hit the go live button and just jump right into, we having those type of conversations. I know sometimes they personal, and so I know a lot of times we don't let a lot of the real personal stuff out there. But we do let a lot of our own personal lives and our own personal conversations out there. For those who don't know, this is Millionaire Man Cave. This is pretty much what goes on behind the closed doors of a man cave. So that's pretty much what I was mentioning just now. Like sometimes. If I don't mind like hitting the go button and being like, yo, let me answer this question. I'm explaining this to you right now, Denisha. Thanks for asking that question. This is for men and for women. So if you feel free to stick around, we actually have a heck of a conversation tonight. We will talk about living the fly. What you've seen on the fly. We actually get into that in probably about 30 minutes or so. But this is a conversation pretty much that happens behind the closed doors of a man cave, right? So a lot of women want to know, and that's why I say this is for both. A lot of women want to know, what do y'all talk about when we're not around? Y'all want our personal opinions on certain things, all those good things. Everybody on here is married, has been married. Some of us have been divorced, all that good stuff. Some of us got kids. All of us got kids. Some of us got kids in college. Some of us got little kids. We got a lot of perspective and a lot of knowledge and wisdom right here on this show. So that's why we call it Millionaire Man Cave. So there's the millions dollars worth of information, million plus worth of information right here in these four boxes, these four squares. And every week we actually have topics and conversations about all types of stuff, from celebrities to money to business to relationships to health. We pretty much talk about it all, Denisha. So feel free to stick in. If you got a husband or boyfriend, whatever, let them know, tune in as well. We get real, we get raw, we don't hold
or a girlfriend.
Punches. Or girlfriend, yeah, whatever floats your boat. But we get real, we get raw in these conversations. This is pretty much what happens behind the closed doors of a man cave for about an hour and a half. Today is a little bit of a deeper conversation because, again, someone wanted to come on and share their story with us and get the opinions of us men. So that's what the whole living the lie is about later on in the conversation. But stick around for a little bit for that, because that does come again about the 8:45, 8:30 time frame. She says she's single, none of the above. Hey, you never know. On this show, you may meet your match. Somebody may chime in and you may meet your match. We could be matchmakers as well, Denisha. But
no, we can't. No, we can't.
I
don't know. What's all them letters?
Yeah, what is all
or Denisha name?
MS,
what's all them letters?
She got them degrees.
That means she educated. She educated.
I mean, she educated.
Educated.
Without any further ado, as I always do about this time, I'm the host, Ty. I got three other co-hosts with me right about now. My brother from another mother, Millionaire Mike, is in the building with us tonight. Old dingy bastard. What's going on, Mike? How you feeling, bro?
What's up, man? I'm the old dingy bastard, MSW CADC LCSA.
She like, I went to school for all that. Don't make fun of my letters.
Right.
Which is why she's
I'm doing all right, man. I had a difficult end of my day at work. So, as always, this is a release.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be with the fellas and got a little drinky in my hand, and I'm chilling, dog.
Gotcha. Oh, that's the other thing, Denisha. Let your friends know too if they're single or not. Let them. We answer, as you can see, live on air. So you put your comments and your questions, we'll answer them live. If you got questions, we'll answer those too. You got comments, we'll sometimes ignore them, but it depends on what you got to say. But nah, we like to have fun. But straight out of the DMV, we got my man John in the building with us. Mr. Can't Get Right. I think he's gonna act right tonight though. But what's going on, John? How you feeling?
I'm all right, man. I'm double fisting tonight.
Whoa.
Okay. Danielle had to leave on that one. Danielle had to leave and switch places on that one.
Whoa,
He said he
double
is-
fisted. Yeah, that's what I was
I don't think
thinking.
that's what he meant, dog.
See, y'all gonna run Denisha off because y'all ridiculous.
You said you was double fisted. I don't know.
Hey, this
That's
is-
what they call it when you got 2 drinks, sir. They
Hey, you got to
double
remember, he
fist.
went to a PWI, and that's what they call
That's
it. When
right.
you like, you got walking around with 2, double fist. You know, they do a whole different type of stuff than those of
They
us
do.
that went to an HBCU.
That's
So,
true.
Yes.
That's without a shadow of a doubt, 100% accurate. It's a whole lot of different.
Man, how
But
you feeling,
anyway,
though?
I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad to be here with you guys. I'm gonna fight off whatever this is I'm dealing with because I want to be here tonight, be a part of the show,
For sure.
and we're gonna do the thing. Do the thing.
She said she see the warning, Mr. Can't get right.
There you go. It used to be Mr. PC, but they made me change my name because they was they wasn't acting
no,
right.
we didn't.
We ain't make him change nothing. We ain't make him change nothing. Oh, John. I know the answers to this question, and I'm just gonna ask right quick. How's your son doing, man?
Oh, he's doing good. You know what I'm saying? So my oldest son had tonsil surgery yesterday. Took his tonsils, had noise, all that good stuff. And he came through flying colors. You know what I'm saying? So
Politically
he's in a little bit of pain.
correct.
Politically correct. That's what it used to be back in the day.
Because that dude is very politically correct. But yeah, go back to your son, man. Go back.
But yeah,
cut you off.
he's doing good. You know what I'm saying? He's still like sleeping off and on. He got to take his medicine or whatnot, but mostly just ibuprofen at this point. But he's doing all right.
All right.
How long should the pain last where he has to take medicine? A couple
It's
days.
gonna be at least 7 days.
Okay.
Did he got
They
to
say
back up or whatever?
they say after 5 days it'll start to scab over.
Ooh.
And that's when they worry the most, actually, because if the scab break, then he might start bleeding. So hopefully he'll be on the other side of it after about 7 days, 8 days. But he pretty much gonna be out of school until Thanksgiving break. So
Wow.
Lucky him. Lucky
Yeah.
him. Hey, let me get out of work till Thanksgiving break, and I'll be satisfied. I work from home, and I work from home. Also, straight out of the DMV, repping his Winston-Salem State University gear today. Mr. Reasonable is in the building. What's going on, Mr. Reasonable, aka Donnell? That's right. We're going to ESPN First Take this morning. What's going on with
That's
you?
right.
I'm chilling, man. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know what I'm saying? Happy, you know what I'm saying? Took the week off and happy to be back, you know what I'm saying, on this show today.
Yeah, we did. We took the week off for, what was it, Halloween last week, right?
Halloween,
Yeah.
I ain't even do
Any
that.
y'all still eating Halloween candy?
I ain't even. Wait, you already know my kids out the house, so we ain't got no Halloween candy other than what I bought for my damn self.
Yeah, we had stuff going on. We went and trick-or-treated and everything.
Gotcha.
You know.
Y'all dress up?
I went robbing little kids for bags.
Yeah, I went as Jake from State Farm.
You dressed up, Mike?
You went the original. You was the original Jake from State Farm, weren't you?
Don't play with me. I'm swole, you know?
He said he's swole.
Nah, I had like this little scary clown mask, but that was it. I didn't dress up. I sat out on my porch to give out candy, and I was wearing my clown mask on the laptop on the internet, and a lot of the kids were coming up, and they thought I was just a prop until they saw me moving.
Scaring the shit out of them little kids.
Nah, I wasn't. None of them was scared.
You should
wife
jump at him and
was.
just be like, ah!
I scared the mess out of my wife.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
You ain't getting nothing that night.
I put on the mask and I walked past her office door, and so she looked up and she just saw me. She was like, "Ah!"
You dressed up down there? That's right. Your kids ain't even go to you. Your kids out of trick-or-treating stage too.
My daughter went.
Oh, she did?
Is she?
That's what's up.
Okay. Did she dress up as anything, or she just went begging?
That's what you call it, with a plastic bag.
Right.
Hey man, kids be having pillowcases, book bags. They got all type trash bags. Man, I seen kids that couldn't even hold their bags.
They don't even have nothing on. They be out there in their street clothes. They be in their school uniform.
That's what I was going to say. We had teenagers coming up, just regular clothes with the book bag on, and they were putting the candy in their pockets. And I asked one of them, and he was like, "Yeah, when my pockets get full, I put it in the book bag."
Gotcha.
I was like, "All right, do you? It's free candy.
Hey, do you? What it is? It is what it
Maybe
is.
Next year,
that's what it was always about for me.
You say you can dress up as Mike Myers?
Yeah, maybe next year I'll dress up as Mike Myers and go killing people.
Go walk around the neighborhood. Go walk around the neighborhood and do
that. see how many people get not killed for real, but see how many people fall while trying to run. Huh?
Did y'all see the it was a internet clip, whatever they call them now, reels or whatever, but it was a dude dressed up like Jason, and it was people running from him, and he was just doing the walk, and he was, and they had to get in the house before he got to them, and he damn near got all of them.
Yeah, I remember that. That's pretty much it was like people testing their family members to see if they can actually get in the house before he would come up and kill them or whatnot.
He was getting everybody, and he was just walking. I was like,
funniest joint I seen was, I don't know if y'all seen the joint, but somebody was genius. They put a sheet within, they pretty much dressed up a drone as a ghost, and they were just flying the drone around, scaring the shit out of people. They scared the shit out of because it was like,
I saw that.
Like it looked like it was flying. So you just pretty much put a sheet and cut the holes and make the eyes red, and it was flying.
How's it fly? It was it was attached underneath it.
Yeah, no, drone. So the propellers was on the outside, and they just had it on. You know, they just cut around it, so they, just draped over the drone.
So let me ask you this:
it's tight.
If y'all was actually running from a serial killer, would you run in the house?
Hell no.
Hell no. First of all, I'm running something populated.
Nah.
I can
outrun. If I was running from a serial killer, I'd run in the house because that's where my gun is.
Smart. Yeah, that's true.
And I'm gonna light them up.
If you can get to this time though,
aren't you least Aren't you least likely not to get caught if you stay out in the
because you got more places to hide, you got more places to run. In the house, you jive trap, like especially I don't know about most people's houses, you got one way up, one way down. So once you up, unless you can hide somewhere to get that person in the area in which they are no longer in front of the stairs, you pretty much trapped upstairs. Or if you downstairs, you got other doors to get in and out of. But
so I never understood, and I watch a lot of like scary movies, slasher movies specifically. Like, you ever seen a slasher like stab through a house?
No. It's crazy. Think about it. A lot of the movies we thought were scary back in the day,
the car roof
as an adult, are hard, like Tubi movies, pretty much. You'd be like, how was that possible? How did you do that? Like, answer me that question. How did you do that? Yeah.
Like that. He's stabbing through plywood, 2x4, side and brick.
With a knife about that long. Like, make it make sense. I don't know.
The joints that get me though are the ones that are more believable, like more realistic, like Wrong Turn. That joint got me.
What was your drink? Final Destination.
Yes.
I still won't ride behind the truck with wood planks on it for that reason. Nope.
Yo, that's for real. Every time I get behind a truck, get next to a truck, I be speeding like I don't know what.
Nope. You would not catch me behind or next to a truck like for a long extended period of time. Not happening at all because of shit like Final Destination. Yeah.
This lady, I feel like one of the, when I was in high school, she was there. I feel like they got those tractor trailers and they be carrying like the cars where they have like some at the bottom level and the top level.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she had got killed by one of them things. I think one of the cars came off the trailer or something like that.
See that shit like that. Nah,
Miss Janelle Moore. Yeah.
Word, that's crazy. Okay. That had to been like some freak. Nah, that's crazy. Nope, not having it.
So I don't get behind those either. You know what I'm saying? the moral of the story.
Got you. Hey, it's about that time of the night we get into Word to the Wise. You got Word to the Wise for us tonight, Donnell?
I do.
Hey, you had to think about it for a second. Hey.
All right, ladies. Let me tell you something. If your toothbrush look like you've been cleaning your sneakers with that junk, it's time for you to get a new one. You're supposed to change that junk every 6 months. And if you go to the dentist regularly, they give you a free one.
Right.
Do y'all actually change it every 6 months though? Like I mean, I know you're supposed to, but do you actually change it every 6 months?
Me personally, I don't keep up with the time. When the bristles start to fold, I get a new one. And then I start cleaning my sneakers and brushing my teeth at the same time. Nah.
Cleaning cracks and crevices.
Yeah, that is disgusting. Now,
I got a couple rolls though.
You stupid. I don't know if I changed mine every 6 months or not, but I do change mine frequently. She says, "Do you change her every 90 days?"
Okay,
every 90
that's
days.
probably best.
So that Word to the Wise was definitely not for her.
I got the electrical one, and it tell you when to change it.
And also too, if you if you get cold sores, or I think if you even get sick, you're supposed to discard that junk.
Yeah, exactly. Because you putting those same germs
we'll
back in your
boil
mouth.
it. Sometimes we'll boil ours.
Reuse it.
Mm-hmm. You know,
Did you know
sanitizing it?
That you're not supposed to rinse out your mouth after you brush your teeth?
I thought it was when you use mouthwash.
All right, I thought it was mouthwash.
Nope. When you brush your teeth, you're not supposed to rinse out your mouth,
John.
Because the whole point of brushing your teeth is to put
the PC,
the fluoride, the stuff that's in the toothpaste, supposed to be on your teeth. If you rinse your mouth out after you brush, you rinse that all out your mouth.
Rinse it away.
So you walk around with a foamy ass mouth all day then?
Nah, nigga, my mouth ain't
like
foamy.
Cujo, looking like Cujo.
So what do you do? Like I'm serious. Like what do you do? Like
first of all, why your shit foaming up? Why is yours?
Hey, in the commercial, there's never any foam.
Right? Why is your shit foamy?
I mean, it ain't foamy, but you walk around with damn like you got spit.
It's like washing your body with a wash rag. If it ain't foaming, you ain't getting clean.
Right. You got saliva and spit and everything else in your mouth. I'm just saying. From the man who washes his mouth with the same toothbrush he uses to clean his teeth. Exactly. Nope. No. You mean down that way over there? Yeah. That way over there. Exactly. That guy. Nah, but like I'm serious. Like, so what do you do if you ain't supposed to rinse your mouth? I thought it was just a mouthwash.
You can spit what's in your mouth out, but dude, you can spit what's in your mouth out,
John.
But you're not supposed to rinse. You're not supposed to like then take water and rinse your mouth out after you brush your teeth.
Go ahead, John. John.
So you're saying that you swallow, you don't spit.
I don't swallow either. You're definitely not supposed to swallow toothpaste.
Oh, we talking about toothpaste. Okay. I just want
Y'all need to grow up. Y'all need to grow up.
Y'all definitely need to grow up.
It's not even me, man.
That's that guy. That's that guy. Yes, Denisha, we immature. That's all right.
They immature. I ain't even got it in me.
I'm
IMX.
I'm not immature. I'm IMX.
UMX. Oh, okay. Is that what it is?
IMX.
Gotcha. All right.
I'm grown.
You grown. Gotcha. Okay. Yo, let's go and get into this commercial so we can go ahead and get into our hot topic, and then we can go ahead and get into our topic for the night. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Welcome to What's Going On? My name is Demita Joe. Each Wednesday, you can find me here at 3 p.m. I'll be over here discussing different things that are going on and try to bring you a boost of positivity for your week because we all need this. We're going to share some feel-good stories. We might find a hometown hero. We may take a look at some trending topic. And sometimes we might even find a lesson in a not-so-warm and fuzzy story if we can. I'm Danita Joe, and I'll see you guys on the next episode right here on What's Going On?
Tune in to Millionaire Man Cave, only on Relationship and Entertainment Television, Tuesdays at 8 p.m.
Tuesdays, 8 p.m. right here on Relationship Entertainment Television, better known as RETV. Y'all could have chose to be anywhere, but y'all chose to be right here with us, and we appreciate y'all for tuning in each and every Tuesday right here on Relationship Entertainment Television, y'all. Real talk. As you know, or for those who actually don't know, you can catch us on YouTube. You can subscribe to the Relationship Entertainment Television YouTube channel where you can catch not only this show live, but you can catch all the other shows that come on Relationship Entertainment Television, as well as some of the ones that you just saw right there in the commercials, all that good stuff. So we got, Business Talk Library. We got What's Going On comes on tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern Time with Danita Joe. We got Entrepreneur Insider. We got a bunch of different shows. Women's Champ comes on Thursday. It's a bunch of shows. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, Facebook, YouTube, all those other good places. If you also want to check out or send us an email, go ahead, John. What you want to say?
LinkedIn.
Oh, LinkedIn. Oh, and LinkedIn. Yeah. Denise is watching via LinkedIn. If you're still with us, you can watch us via LinkedIn as well. So we appreciate everybody who gets the opportunity to participate with the show. We are live. So if you got emails you want to send in, you got questions you want to send in, you can put them in the chat. We'll get to them. If you send an email, we'll try to get it on the next show or whatnot. You can send in a video question. Video question, pretty much record yourself, send it into info@re-tv.net. We'll get your question on live on air and answer your question on air. Or in a situation where we got a special guest tonight that will be on in just a few moments. They actually, sent the email and said, hey, I want to actually come on and tell and get the opinion of y'all's about their situation and some stories that they're going through. So make sure you gotta like, share, subscribe, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, I say Twitter, X, and all of those other good places and in between. We do have a chat group, well, not chat group, I guess it's a Instagram page for RETV as well as for Millionaire Man Cave, and a private group for all the fellas on Facebook. So we talk about a lot of different conversations over there as well. Millionaire Man Cave, they're on Facebook. Speaking of social media, excuse me, let's go ahead and get it for Black X Files for tonight. What we got for Black X Files tonight, John? Okay.
It's interneting as always. Right. So let's start off with something entertaining. I don't know why it's entertaining. I don't know what it represents, but I thought it was hilarious. So I wanted to make sure y'all saw it. Okay. I don't know what she's doing. I don't know why she's doing it. I can't find
build up, right?
Yeah, you got me nervous, John.
No, I was serious.
I saw this.
What was she doing? What is she done DDT'd the floor? Like what was Young? What was she doing?
Sean.
Pageant? This was like Miss Ghetto Queen University or something, like a pageant.
Yo, she was definitely practicing her WWE maneuvers. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Either that or she from Jamaica and she was one of them Jamaican dancers. You know how they be in Jamaica.
That's the dirty wine. That joint, yeah. That joint's crazy.
Where they be jumping off speakers and shit and just be landing on them. Like, yo, how do you do that and just be and the dudes be like, oh yeah,
landing on her knee.
Yo,
that joint. I was like, yo, she got to be in pain after that. I don't understand how.
Maybe she trying out for a stunt dance troupe.
Right? That joint was crazy. So I just had to show that because it was hilarious to me. Okay.
And somebody too.
Me too.
Right. All right. So next up, have y'all heard this?
I am.
Oh my God, I love this. This is the most original guest we've ever had on. And what are you, 39?
I am.
Oh my God. That dam is gonna break one day, baby. And
Maybe let me tell you right now. People were like, oh, you know, Yvonne, I was like, pray for him, whoever he is. Y'all need to pray for him. You get a lot of pent up energy up in here.
Oh my God. And you're gonna hit your sexual peak when you start having sex. So yeah, you're gonna need a couple of men, probably.
Yo.
Are you still?
That's crazy, right? I
know that she is still a virgin.
I heard about it, but I haven't seen it. I heard about it, but I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Yo, that is what. Could y'all hold out that long? I mean, I know we married, kids, but could you hold out that long?
Yo, I would have definitely got a hooker. I couldn't have. I just been like, you know what? It ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna have to do something about it. Like I would have had to. Like if I hit 30. If I hit 30 and hadn't had sex, I would have been like that.
Did she at any point in time? No, that was Yvonne orgy.
You saying it wrong. It's orgy.
Whatever the hell her name is.
She had no.
Molly is a virgin. You know she's a comedian.
Yeah, she's a comedian. But but apparently at 30, I mean, I wouldn't put it past. There are people out there like that. But at 39, though, that's a long ass time, dog. And then my question is, all right, so is she just a virgin, or has she given oral sex? You know, does she got a rose? And if that's the case, is she still considered a virgin? Because she's been technically penetrated.
If she got silicone and been penetrated, is she technically a virgin?
See?
You know what I'm saying? If she got silicone and been penetrated and had an orgasm, is she considered a virgin?
Yes. If it hasn't been with another person, technically she is still a virgin. Yes.
So is that the definition of losing your virginity to actually a person and not a thing?
Yeah. I don't think so.
Bro, let's be honest. There's a lot of men who would have technically lost their virginity to their hand a long time before that.
That's what I'm saying. That's
you
why
still a virgin. If you ain't there to do with somebody else, you are a virgin.
With an actual person.
So for a man, if you ain't clapped no cheeks, you still a virgin.
Yeah.
If you ain't made them thighs tremble on some girl.
I mean, you ain't got to make the thighs because the first time you probably won't make the thighs tremble.
I'm about to say the first time,
what about the first time you make it fart?
Look, you liable to be the one with your thighs trembling the first time.
Yeah, facts.
Like, thank you.
That is crazy. 39, though, that's a long ass time to be holding out. That is a long ass time to be holding. I don't think I could have done it.
At this point,
once you've gone 25 years.
I mean, but if you don't know what you're missing,
at this point, she gotta be real careful though, honestly, because she can end up like Sherry Shepherd. She can end up like Sherry Shepherd.
What's wrong with Sherry Shepherd?
Wait, we ain't talking about Sherry Shepherd? Was she paying for her ex-husband. She paying her ex-husband alimony and child support.
But she may not necessarily, just because you had sex don't necessarily mean you got to have a kid.
That's true.
So she may, she can go ahead and get the, get her cheek slapped and not have no kids.
I suppose. I mean,
that's I don't know. I just find that weird. Like, I get it. People got their own reasonings, spiritual reasonings, and biblical reasons, and everything else in between. But like, what do you like? I just couldn't imagine.
So,
anyway,
so you think you should just get it in, or regardless, you should just be like, I'm just gonna do it.
No, I think you should wait for the right person. You should wait for the right person, obviously. But I just could not imagine going 39 years.
Wait for the right person. Who are you talking to? Her or another gal, or just in general?
What? Say what now?
What's brewing in your head?
Yeah, I'm just like, no.
You said wait for the right person. You talking about
anybody? He talking about anybody.
Anybody. Like, when it comes to having sex in general. I mean,
so you waited for the right person.
Moving on, John. Next topic. Next topic.
One more. We're gonna do one more.
Okay.
All right. I could talk about Keith Lee. You're not gonna do Keith Lee tonight. That's a really large topic. Talk about Keith Lee. So we're gonna talk about something that I thought was very interesting. Right here.
I got quit this.
Where are my kids?
Oh. I just read that.
You guys have fun.
Are you having fun? There you go. You're welcome.
Yo.
You like candy?
What up, Tiffany?
You're looking sharp. You got a dress and a sport coat. How many dump trucks do you have?
We have 2 dump trucks outside.
I just need an extra bagel.
Mama's gonna take your shot. We're gonna take your shot. Good job. You ready for Halloween?
Yo, I just read the caption because I was like, for a second, I was like, oh, okay, cute little girl.
Yeah.
And then I read the caption, I was like, oh shit, that's not a girl.
That's a boy.
Okay. That is a boy.
Little boy. You know what? I'm gonna tell you what I have a problem with.
Okay.
It's not that he wore a dress. It's that we are such a culture now where we have to put everything online. That what if one day he is embarrassed that he wore a dress? Not because of anything other than that's not who he is when he's, when he's older and somebody finds that video is there. Like, that's my thing. Like, I'm not, if that's what you want to do, if that's a situation that you in, if your son asks to wear a dress because he loved Frozen, whatever. But like the fact that we like gotta put that, I don't know how I feel about. Like, you see, my kids I don't post my kids really. My wife posts more than I do. But even like I have a whole thing about it. Like, there's I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I get what you're trying to say, John. I understand that sometimes, we grow, as humans, we should be growing every day. And there is a possibility that he may grow later and go, why did I ask to put on a dress? And may be embarrassed and may not want nobody to see, or he may have a position. And y'all know damn well, especially when you go into politics, they dig up all types of stuff on you. And they make, he was a cross-dresser when he was a little boy, something stupid like that, right?
Right.
So I get what you're saying in that sense. My question would have been, in general, just as a parent, I would have asked the little boy, I understood that's his favorite character, cool beans, got all that. I ain't nothing to knock against him being, Elsa being his favorite character. But I would have asked him, does he understand that Elsa is a girl? And if he says yes, and he still wanted to dress up as Elsa, then okay, like you said, it's Halloween, big whoop, do your thing, bro. Yeah. But I don't know. Which Donnell, Mike, Tiffany says, before we move on, children do a lot of things they seem to be embarrassed about later. We as adults are the ones who make the problem things. And
Tiffany, I don't have a problem with him wearing the dress. I have a problem with us being like this culture now of like we got to post about it,
put
like
everything online.
Yeah, because it is what it is, right? Like he might wear dresses for the rest of his life, and that's okay. And there's actually there was another issue that was mentioned in that post, which is like this came from the comedian Godfrey, and he was upset about the fact that this is a little black boy raised by a white woman. And that's what she is allowing him to do.
I kind of was thinking that, but
why couldn't the story been inspirational to other people?
It can, but
I think that was the purpose of the post,
right? But why? But why do we have to be a culture of
because
let my situation, let my 5-year-old or 3-year-old, whatever.
You got generations like baby boomers who are on social media still trying to grasp the concept that we have changed or we are emerging.
Yeah. Tiffany, I would have a problem with that. Like I said, I don't love posting my kids online like that at all.
It's the embarrassment that you're thinking about, John.
It's not even just the embarrassment. It's the fact that I am taking away their ability to have any control over their image online. Like,
you don't think you have that right as a parent, though?
But what right is that? What right is that? Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? That's something we talking about, an internet that is forever now.
Right.
You're talking about a situation where I'm posting for likes and clicks because I want somebody to see it and love it. Not because if I really wanted to just send it to my family, I could just send it to my family.
Facts. And they,
you know what I'm saying? Right. So there's a reason why we post it on social media in those kind of forums as a open post to everyone to be able to get their hands on, is because we want everybody to see it. We want it to be something more than just for our family.
But isn't that like the whole purpose of social media?
That's the age we're living in.
That's not what it started off as. It was supposed to be connecting with your friends and family.
That's what that is.
But to Daniel's point, right? That is, you are, what some people do, they post their kids so that way their friends and family who are not local can have an opportunity to see, your child or, things that are happening in your life. And if this just happens to be one of those things that happen in your life, your child dressing up for Halloween, boy or girl, no matter how they dress up, then you are sharing that via social media with, and I get both sides of it. I get what you're saying, John. Kids should have the choice. But I think as a parent, so long as you are being responsible, then, and you're not doing it. I think there are parents who take it too far. Parents who, who go out there and they want to show that they're disciplining their children on social media. I get that part of it.
And I mean, hell, if they ever decide to be a politician, if they ever decide to be a politician, ain't none of that going to matter.
It's not, but they're going to dig it up.
They'll dig it up, but it doesn't. I don't think it sways a person's decision.
As long as you get in front of it.
Can you imagine trying to have to defend something you did at the age of 5?
Yeah,
that's terrible.
White people deal with blackface all the time these days.
That is true. I mean, not that they was 5, but some of them, like, are in their 40s, and in college they dressed up as blackface, and it's like, with that, they are going on. I get what you're saying. Tiffany says, and you're indeed connecting with their friends and family. Tons of family members have thanked me for posting so they can see them grow up. Exactly. That was the point I was making.
And I too.
What up?
Go ahead.
Song.
What up?
Yeah. What up?
But I connect with friends sometimes that I haven't spoke to in a while, and both of us will basically be like, okay, so I've been seeing this, seeing your kids doing this on Facebook, seeing that, everything seems to be going well, and then we, connect from there. So I mean, we do tend to keep up with some of our folks based on what they post.
But I sort of kind of get what John is saying at the same time, though. I mean, think about it. I mean, obviously Facebook and social media wasn't big back in, what wasn't even around per se back in the 90s. In the 80s and so forth, when a lot of us grew up, and when parents had photo albums and damn VCR video, tapes and whatnot, that they would just embarrass the hell out of you with and bring up when other family and friends came around. I guess that was the
you definitely had embarrassing photos. Yep.
But it wasn't global in that way, though. To John's point, it wasn't something in which you pretty much had to wait till your family and friends came over your house or you went over their house to be able to share those type of videos and and whatnot. Tiffany said you shouldn't have to defend what you've done. Is that you shouldn't, but a lot of people do have to wind up defending what they've done at either 21 and under. I know 21 is not a child, but they may have gotten older and they still got to wind up defending some mistakes that they've made earlier in their life.
Man, I guess what I'm saying, life lesson in general, and not just like, oh, I posted you because you was in a dress as a child, is that you have to teach your kids to be confident. I mean, what I'm saying, like, when they get older and they see stuff like that, like, I'm gonna laugh with you because that was funny. What I'm saying, if that's if that's the case.
Yeah.
But like,
in a lot of cases, to John's point, we don't have control over what happens to us as the children, and even some of the decisions that we make. I mean, think about it. We had this conversation before. A lot of our parents will make us do things or treat us a certain way, and and it affects how we tend to grow up as adults and how we look at things now. So that's just another way of looking at it. I don't know, but I mean, I think to Donnell's point earlier, I think the point of the video was for inspiration to say no matter whether you're a boy or no matter whether you're a girl, you should be able to express yourself however you choose to express yourself. But I didn't even catch the part about. I mean, I saw it, but it didn't register me even with the white lady raising the little black boy in it.
Yeah, I thought it was a little girl at first because I had it on the small screen. I didn't have it on the large screen. I thought it was a little girl at first, and what I picked up on was this little girl walking around here with all these white folks, and they got her any kind of way, and then y'all started saying stuff, and so I put it on the large screen. And I saw the son. I was like, oh,
yeah, because little girls can cut their hair short if they want to too. So
what I find interesting,
like my daughter had a short haircut when she was, because she used to pull her hair out, literally.
What I find interesting is even till today, and I guess it kind of like even goes back to like the Colin Kaepernick story. You know what I mean about being black, being raised by white parents. Like, if the white people didn't step up, what would your life be? I mean, what I'm saying, like,
it's true.
It's it's damned if you do and you damned if you don't. But at the same time, if a white person is willing to put you in a good situation, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think because of slavery, let's just say that the enslavement of Africans gives us that mentality that we should not be raised by or supported by white people. I think that's where that goes to the enslavement of black people. I think that's where that stems from, Donnell. In my opinion, I could be wrong.
No, I get you, but at the same time, we can't. It's like a double-edged sword. Like, on one hand, we complain about slavery, but it's like black people need. We should always be. We should have a leg up too. Well, if they being raised by a white family, it's possible that they're gonna have that leg up. It's possible. I'm not saying that that's. It's fact,
my thing. The only thing for me, and I guess where I started to pick up from that was I don't like it when, say, somebody let's call it like it is right now with the video. If a white person has a black child and they parading them around like, ooh, I'm saving this, this black kid from the ghetto, whatever. I feel like that's going in a different direction,
But why? But why does it come off that way to you?
But that's personal perception. Because this is
you're right.
If it was the other way around, if it was a black woman with a white little girl, people would be like, up in arms, and why you got this white little girl? It would be a completely different situation and story. But it is what it is. Let's get into this second commercial right quick. We're actually going to shorten the second commercial because we actually coming back with a special guest. For our topic tonight, living the lie. Let's go ahead and get to the second commercial.
your girl, Tia Robertson. I'm the host of Entrepreneur Insider. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern for entrepreneurs and news that you need to know about. See you there.
Good evening, good afternoon, good night, and good morning. Welcome back to the second half of Millionaire Man Cave right here on Relationship Entertainment Television, better known as RETV. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Tonight, we actually got a special guest coming on tonight. As I mentioned, we are a live show, so make sure you put your questions, your comments, and all that good stuff in the chat, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on LinkedIn, whether you're on YouTube, all those good things. Make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe. If you are on YouTube, or if you're not on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the Relationship Entertainment Television channel anyway, so that way you can catch all the shows that were just advertised prior, as well as this one when they actually come on, or you can watch previous episodes or current episodes. So make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell, so that way you're notified each and every time a brand new episode comes on, all that good stuff. If you have questions, comments, concerns, y'all can send them out to info@re-tv.net, info@re-tv.net. Is where you can actually go ahead and send your questions, comments, concerns, or you can just put them in the chat as well, and we'll be able to catch them right there in the thing. We'll put them on the screen. We'll talk to you tonight, y'all. We have special guests. We got special guests tonight. Friend of the show. Matter of fact, not even a friend of the show. She actually is co-owner of the Daggone Network, Relationship Entertainment Television. But she actually wrote in and said, "Hey, you know, I want to be able to come on the show because I want to give my story of something that's happening currently in my life, and want to get you all's thoughts and opinions and all of that good stuff." And it's, so we're talking about living a lie tonight. Living a lie. So actually, I got a quick question for y'all before I bring her on. What would y'all do? Or what would you do, or what would you think if you found out in your Mike, your 50 years of life, John, your 43, 44 years of life, Donnell, your 43, 44 years of life, if you found out after all this time your biological parent was not your biological parent? What would be the first thing to cross your mind?
That's rough, because I would feel, I have to say off gate, I would feel betrayed, and I feel like a loss of self, of awareness, you know, like everything I thought I was, maybe that ain't right, you know, maybe that ain't me. So it would shake me up. I feel like it would shake me up.
John, what you think?
You know what? I'm gonna say two things. One, this happened to my sister, and two, if it happened to me, I might actually be happy about it.
Understood.
I'll tell you quickly why, because I didn't grow up with my father anyway.
Okay.
So, in my particular case, like I'm not a good gauge on this one, because if it turned out that somebody else was my father, maybe my mother didn't know. Maybe she was for the streets. You know what I'm saying? Made a mistake. Said it was one guy, turned out to be another guy. I would be like, okay. I mean, I guess it don't really matter that much. I ain't grow up with none of my daddy. Whatever was supposed to be the daddy, the fake one or the real one. So my situation is probably that messed up that it's not as big of a deal for me.
Okay.
So sorry, I wish I could say like a definitive answer on either direction on that one.
And Donnell, what say you? What would you say if you found out after all these years in your life, you found out that your biological parent was not your biological parent?
I don't know. I think that the emotional side of me would be pissed. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't know, for 47 years, at some point I had to become an adult, and at some point, I should have been mature enough to handle something like that, and for it not to be presented to me in a timely manner. Like, I feel like that's very selfish on the person keeping the secret.
Yeah.
I think that the inspirational side of me would have been like, well, whoever raised me, it doesn't matter if that person is my biological or not. This person raised me. That's who my mother or father is. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
Yo,
gotcha.
is it possible though that, I mean, I'm thinking about, we're talking about 47 years ago. Like, how easy was it to find out who the biological father was?
I don't know.
I feel like DNA was the 80s thing.
Yeah, DNA has been around for about 30 years. It's been around for about 30 years.
But if nobody has put forth the question mark, you wouldn't even think to go there.
That part, Mike, you're right. That part. So we do have a special guest tonight. Let's go ahead and introduce Cody to the show. Again, friend of the show. She's been on the show before, half owner of the network. But let's go ahead and introduce Cody. Let's go ahead and bring and Megan says betrayal. And Songu, I gotta pronounce your name however you pronounce it. Says
Goku.
Dead on. So, yeah, whatever. Y'all
Goku. Son Goku.
There you go. Anime. I don't know. Y'all know what it is.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, that part. Exactly. What you said. Cody, what's going on? How you doing, lady? Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much for joining me into your sacred place. I find it a privilege and an honor, and I came well prepared to hang with y'all tonight. So I'm sipping on Cooper and Thief, a red wine blend that's been aged in a bourbon whiskey barrel. Protecting my peace.
Good stuff. I've had it.
Her piece.
Thank you. Yes.
Protecting her piece. Wait, she held up the whole bottle. I was about to say, damn, she ain't just hanging with it. She about to surpass us tonight.
I brought it because I may need to refill up.
Gotcha. Megan says, "What's up, her beautiful cousin? Pour up. What's going on, Megan?" So Cody, we were just talking. We were just talking about the topic for tonight. Living a lie. And briefly, just mentioning, what would we do if we found out after all these years of life that our biological parent is not our biological parent? This apparently is your story. You want to, give us some insight, some a little bit of this?
Yeah.
Tell us what it is. Yeah,
I will give you a quick backstory just to kind of give you some context. Started with 9 years ago. Ty and I were literally 2 years into our marriage. I was unhappy with myself. At the age of, I guess I was 38 then, just not really fulfilled, kind of looking around saying, man, I'm 38 and I really can't, I'm just not happy. And I pulled the stop and I got on my knees and I prayed to God and I said, I feel like I'm disconnected and I don't know what's truth anymore. So I need you to, point blank period, tell me truth in every area of my life in order for me to feel whole. You may ask, well, why did I feel that way? I really can't pinpoint it. I just know I feel like I'm almost 40 and I'm still unsure of myself and where I want to go in life. And I just need some answers. But I felt like it's a piece of me that's missing. Okay. Fast forward from there, 2 years later, I'm 40. Ty throws me this fabulous surprise 40th birthday party. And a couple weeks after that, I decided, you know what? I am going to take a DNA test. I'm going to take the Ancestry DNA test because I am feeling like the motherland is drawing me, but I have no clue of where I come from. So I said, let me take advantage of this test. And at the same time, I said, well, since I'm taking this one, I'll also take the Ancestry DNA test. Why not, right? So took both tests. African ancestry came back first. And I just dove into those results, trying to figure out where my maternal lineage came from, right? Completely forgot all about Ancestry DNA. It wasn't until fast forward now, May of this year, I'm standing in my kitchen, or our kitchen, and I clearly hear the voice of God say, brace yourself. It's going to get worse before it gets better. I'm like, huh? It's already a little, we as a unit is experiencing some hardships, not that we caused upon ourselves. And I was just like, I don't know if I can take it anymore. That was May of this year. June of this year, I lost a good friend of mine who I sang with for 20 years. At the same time, my daughter's father tells us that he's not going to be able to support financially at all for her college career, right? So I'm thinking that's the bottom, okay? I do what I have to do to get her to school, and I'm like, cool. August comes, she's moved in. Come September 7th, literally 60 days from today, a friend of mine calls me and says, hey, I think you told me you took Ancestry DNA. I just took this test, but I'm having difficulty understanding what this portal is telling me. Can you help me out? And I said, you know what? I completely forgot about that test. Let me see if I can log in and help you out to figure this thing out. I log in and I see parent 1 is maternal and I see who all I'm linked with. Parent 2 is paternal. And I'm like, wait a minute. Wait, what? These results can't be right because these names I'm familiar with, but they're not my dad's people. They're a completely different family. And I tell my friend, and my friend goes, Cody, all I'm going to say is DNA doesn't lie. And I said, yeah, right, but something's not adding up. And this was on a late night. And so I go downstairs, and I had this perplexed look on my face, and Ty goes, babe, what's up? And I said, I'm not sure, but I just looked at my DNA results, and what they're saying is conflicting from what I know, for what I've been told all my life. And he says, calm down. Don't worry about it. You're going home in October. Just talk to your mom then. And I was like, I can't wait that long.
Can't wait.
However, he
couldn't either. I wouldn't have been able to.
He understands that when it's I don't say difficult topics, but when it's touching topics for me, I like to have face-to-face conversations. I don't like phone. Okay. I said, but I'll do one better. I'll just video chat. That's the next best thing. So that next morning, I worked from home. I went to my first couple meetings and I video chatted my mom immediately. However, knowing my mother's some of my mother's history growing up, I was very cautious of approaching this topic just because I didn't want it to trigger anything. But at the same time, I got questions. So I ring her up and I'm like, hey, Ma, there's something I need to share with you. I'm not sure how you're going to take this, but I finally looked at my DNA results that I took 7 years ago. And what it's telling me isn't what you shared with me all this time. I said, I am linked with an uncle and an aunt that are not related to my father. And she turns her head. And I said, before you say anything, can you at least just tell me, was it consensual? And she says, yes. Okay. And I said, okay, I can breathe. And I said, but I'm just not understanding. And she goes, Nicole, I promise you, when you were born, I never had any doubt. It wasn't until you were a little bit older, maybe elementary school age, that I began to get questions. And granted, give you guys some more context. I was born when my mom was 18 years old. So we're talking 1976, okay? At that time, you're right, DNA did not exist.
Right.
However, I shared with her, I said, but over the course of 47 years, I'm 47 now. At no point did it dawn on you just to find out for sure if you were not sure? And she said, every time I either broached the conversation, I wanted to broach the conversation with you. I just couldn't bring myself to it because of the unknown, as well as guilt and shame. And she said, but I always thought that I would be the one to bring it to you, not you bringing it to me. And I'll tell you guys, that conversation, we probably talked for a good 2 hours. But when Ty posed the question to you all on how you felt, how you would feel, I felt all of that. And I still do to some degree, because it's still just 60 days fresh. But in that time, I have had, thanks to the great support of my husband, who has been a great shoulder, who has been a great support system, and just me having some time to myself, as well as my sister and my sister cousins, as I like to call them, because we all grew up together. Without them, I wouldn't be able to share this with you all tonight. The reason I wanted to come and use this wonderful platform, I said, what better way to share my story was, one, I want to own the narrative.
Okay.
I no longer want there to be family secrets. I no longer want there to be shame or guilt. It is what it is. But also I wanted to come on this platform. I've gotten, very good wisdom from Ty, but I thought, what better other audience to get some male perspective as I decide on how best to approach this with my true bio father. And so I'm going to pose some questions to you guys tonight from that end, but at the same time, I'm open for you all to ask me questions as well.
That is wild. That is like extremely, obviously, like she mentioned, I know a little bit about, I know about this because I'm her husband. I've been living this with her over the past 60 days. And then obviously we've been together for a little over 12 years. So I have had an opportunity to experience this with my wife. But I still got questions. I still don't know how to handle, because although it's not happening to me directly, it is happening to my wife. So thus it is happening to me directly to a certain degree. This is a wild situation, because technically you have been living a lie for 47 years of your life up until about 60 days ago, where you have, officially found out who your biological father is. And with a little bit of more background for those who are watching, as well as the rest of my co-hosts with me, John, Mike, and Donnell, she did not have a great relationship with the guy who she was to believe at the time was her biological father. So she, so in that she grew up not necessarily, having certain feelings about this guy, but all that was at this point for nothing, because he really wasn't her biological father in the first place. So he didn't have to be around. He didn't have to support her. He didn't have to do the things that you would typically expect for your biological father to, but because he thought that was his child, and she thought that was my dad, and the mom thought that was her father, then it is what it is.
Okay.
So
That's,
go ahead.
So that was my first question. I'm glad you said we could ask questions, because my first question was, this the first time well, I mean, of course she had the inkling, but was this your mom's proof that, he wasn't your dad?
Yes.
That this other dude was your dad?
Yes. What I have been told is that my true bio dad, his family has always speculated over the years. Okay. So much so that he's kept in contact with my mother to say, yo, are you sure?
Wow.
Because, my sisters believe that she is, I'm now trying to figure out if she is or she isn't. When DNA became into existence, it was kind of like, let's just take this test and get it done. But because of my mother's history and just her being, I would say, prideful, but at the same time being embarrassed and ashamed, she was paralyzed. And I will say paralyzed with fear. I know what that feels like, not in this context, but I know what that feels like. And so she just never brought herself to do it.
Okay. So, I mean, I can say that I definitely can see that side. I definitely can see the side of a person who says, I thought about it, wanted to maybe bring it up, but I didn't want to bring it up. And then time just keeps moving, and then it gets to a point where I'm like, why even say anything? Everything is the way it is. It's been like this for 20, 30 years. Why even say anything now? I'm not even going to worry about it anymore.
It's interesting you say that, Mike, because I even, posed a question to her. I said, but you saw how contentious the man who I thought was my father, our relationship was, or really the lack of relationship. Okay. And I said, so even seeing me struggle through that, she felt because I had my stepdad, who I love him. He is my dad because he's been in my life since I was 2. Him and my mother met when I was 2 years old. So he's the dad I know. But as a little girl, I recall being 10 years old, telling myself, you can't give him fully your heart because you got to save a space for your bio dad. Because that was just always a dream of mine. I always wanted to be daddy's little girl.
Okay.
So even me expressing that to her, or even she telling me a story of, I don't know how old I was, but apparently I was in my bedroom, elementary age, and I hear her say, I had a dream. And I come out of my room and I say, did you dream that my dad is not truly my dad? And she goes, no, what makes you say that? And she said, all I said was, I don't know. And I went back in my room.
That's wild.
And so her telling me this story just 60 days ago, because I never knew that story, I said, even that, Ma, didn't prompt you to, I mean, that was to me, God telling you through me, yo, you need to figure this out. But what I have come to learn, being in therapy myself for, I would say maybe 4 years now consistently, when we as people experience trauma, we are so blinded by that trauma that we don't see what we're inflicting on other people. And I think I have come to that resolve because now that I am a mother myself, I have some compassion for her. Granted, I still have my days of my ups and downs. I still have my days of, damn, why did this happen to me? Or why wasn't I told this sooner? You know, all of the whys. But because now that I'm a parent, I think I know this information came to me when I was ready to receive it and I could emotionally handle it. Granted, I still cry. I still have my, you know, emotions. But I think had I been definitely in my teenage years, I'm sure I would have made some decisions that were negative, permanent decisions for the long term. So I am grateful that I got the information now, and I'm grateful that both of them are still living where they can answer my questions.
Yeah. Oh, that's important. That's very important.
Can I
go ahead, John?
Yeah. So Cody, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
I feel bad that I'm not at 100% John to be able to like fully metabolize everything that I just heard.
Good.
But I do want to say that, you know, I appreciate you sharing this story. And one of the things that is, I think, most disappointing for me is not that you just found this out. That is disappointing for sure. But that is an unfortunate symptom of a bigger issue that we have happening in the Black community.
Yes.
Okay.
And so it's something that, you know, we, you know, out of sight, out of mind, however you want to say it, like that's just that's how we unfortunately deal with things in the Black community right now. And there's a level of hurt that comes along with that I don't think anybody really knows how to deal with when we choose not to mention or bring those things up at a time where it can actually help to change things for people. And the only reason why it comes out is by accident or when people are forced to bring it up, right? And when that happens, like that is having to be in a forced situation to learn something that is life-changing is probably the worst way to learn something that's life-changing, right? And I appreciate you bringing the story here. I appreciate you talking about it. I know that it has not been easy for you. And I'm sure it has not been easy for your mother either, right? Keeping that secret all these years, right? So I don't want to take anything away from that aspect of it either. But what I will say is that the opportunity does exist for you to do something that, in all honesty, is something I'm working through right now, which is try to find a way to forgive those people involved. Right? And it's hard because you've been living a lie for all these years. You've been told not even a half truth, right? And so you have to figure out a way to either try to create a relationship with the father you didn't know and recreate a relationship with the mother who never gave you the truth. And that is not going to be easy, but it is necessary, right? And someone told me that the first thing you have to do is figure out how to forgive in order to move to that next step. So,
wow.
Is that something in
so much?
No, go ahead, Cody.
I was going to say thank you so much for sharing that and sharing it that way.
Take your time.
And I said I wasn't going to cry. But you're right, John. The first person I have to forgive is myself. And I think by doing that, it's going to My goal is to forgive my mother. I know without a shadow of a doubt, I'm going to do that. But forgive myself because I have these last 60 days, I have struggled with knowing that I've had these misplaced feelings toward a man who I felt did me wrong, who did not deserve those feelings.
Yeah.
However, just in the last week, I have learned, because one of my absolute mandates of my mother was, you have to tell the man who I thought was my father. That was very difficult for her.
Wow.
But when I was home last week, she did it. And I applaud her because I know that was tough. However, the reason I wanted her to tell him was two reasons. One, because he needed to know. But two, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, maybe all this time he has had doubts. And maybe that's the reason why we never connected. As much as I pulled and I tried, and even in high school, went to him and said, yo, me and mom, we're not getting along. Can I just come move with you? And he flat out said, no. That devastated me. However, now I understand, because when she told him last week, he told her, well, years ago, someone came to him, and he wouldn't share who it was in confidence, that there was a possibility that I was not his. But he never shared that with my mother. So even he had a secret that he didn't share. And I don't know if it's just, to John's point, you know, it's the African-American, our history of secrets. But also I think that generation too, when things happen, they just didn't
bury it.
There is a vast difference from how they were raised and they grew up and the way they handle things in comparison to how we are raised and how we grew up and how, you know, we handle things, you know, these days. I mean, the difference is like night and day.
It is. Transparency is a thing now where it never used to be.
As Toya said, secrets are silent killers.
Yeah.
Secrets are silent killers. Yeah.
And so, you know, with that, I'm like, no. How many more of us are there? Because I know there is, because just a week after me learning of my story, Ty and I are scrolling through YouTube and I hear about Kirk Franklin's story. And then a few weeks later, I hear about Kerry Washington's story. And I'm like, yo, what is going on?
Wow.
But my prayer is, I believe this has to be tied to my purpose, because I'm going back to 9 years ago, right? When I made that prayer to God to say, please give me truth in every area of my life. As I've been going through my emotions, that is the one thing God has brought back to my remembrance. Nicole, remember your prayer from 9 years ago. This is part of that answer. 2, I've heard very clearly, do not turn your heart against your mother.
Okay.
Although she didn't make the right decision, she did the best she could with the mind she had. And she was my very first protector in human form. I didn't experience the things my mother experienced as a child. I didn't experience the things my mother experienced as a preteen. She did what she did to protect us. And I will gladly say the 4 of us, I think we turned out okay. No, we're not perfect. Yeah, we got issues. But I'm grateful for the journey. I just now have to work through my emotions in forgiving myself as well as forgiving her, because I can vividly see us working together and helping other people who are experiencing this in some form or fashion. God has not given it to me yet as what that looks like. But I know now, okay, there is something to this. And I needed this platform to be the very first place that I share the story to get comfortable with sharing it, because this is the first, but it's not going to be the last.
And I do know that over the past, since 2020, there has been an estimated of 30 million people worldwide who have taken DNA tests. And you're right, Cody. This isn't the first. As you know, there is even a term, and it's NPE, non-parental. I forgot. There's a term for this though. Gina, we got hella issues. There is actually a term for finding out that the person who you believe was your biological is not your biological, based on the DNA tests that have now been people that have been taken over the past 30 some odd years or whatever. So that's that I don't know. Donnell, you look like you got something on your mind. Donnell, you good?
No, I'm good. Very emotional for Cody. I don't know that I even have it in me to do a DNA test, because at 43 years old, I know I would be devastated if I found out, my father wasn't my biological father, because I feel like he taught me a lot of things, right? I know that too. He taught me a lot, and and I'm forever appreciative, and he till this day in his 70s, he still does a lot for me and my sister. So I know that's his way of showing love to us, and I couldn't imagine another man being my biological father. So
right.
But I guess I was deep in thought, like you said, Ty, because I was like, the flip side of it is, some people may do it for fun, do a DNA test for fun, and then find out, it could have been a different situation, like Cody said, was it consensual? You know what I mean? Like, so just, I don't know. I think the only thing that matters is, like, I feel like, it was God telling you, to take the test because you first prayed about it. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't just something you just decided to do because this was the new thing to do. You know what I mean? So
fun surprise.
Can I throw something in there though? Can I throw something in there? But I think is really important. I think this is also a cautionary tale.
Okay.
For people who choose to take bearing children lightly. For those people out there who father kids and walk away, for those people who have kids and don't necessarily know who the father is, this is a cautionary tale, because there is a level of burden that you put onto your kids when you create situations where they are either fully aware that they don't know who their parent is, who the other parent is, or where they have a like there's something deep in them that leads them to believe that something is wrong in the situation, or whether they don't know at all. But things don't line up, right? Like there's a reason why relationships between two individuals happen to bear a child that have the characteristics of those two individuals. It's because it takes those two individuals to raise that child and put that child on the right path, because we know who we are, for better or for worse, and we can work together to put that child on a path that works for them, right? And if that child has no idea who they are, or doesn't have a full understanding of who they are, like we just create more angst, and especially in the Black community, right? Like I truly believe, like I've been sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, heart disease, hypertension, like it ain't because of the food that we eat, it's because of the situations that we live in. It's because of the way that we choose to hold information and not be our true selves in the relationships, not just man and woman, but family relationships that we have. Like, we got to be our true selves in those situations. And if we can't be our true selves, then we're going to die young. We're going to have heart disease. We're going to have situations where we have mental health issues because we're not being truthful with ourselves and the people who we supposedly love, right? We got to be truthful in those situations and put things in perspective for that next generation. So I'm going to step down off my soapbox on that one.
No, you're very right with that. Because in the last, I guess it's been 3 years, babe, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune. And part of this autoimmune, some can be diagnosed or can develop because of a trait or a gene called vitiligo, which I was diagnosed with in middle school. And that's where you have the white spots, your melanin is gone. And you know, doctors currently have been telling me that's hereditary. And I said, but nobody on either side of my family has this that I know of.
Wow.
Opening up my DNA results, my uncle is full albino. When I saw that, I said, this is true, because that's the linkage to this autoimmune I have been trying to figure out for so long. And thankfully, I've had the opportunity to speak with my biological father. And he's sharing with me that he too suffers from an autoimmune.
Wow.
So if nothing else, going forward, I want to focus on, I want to get answers, medical answers or medical history answers pertaining to my health. Because maybe what they have can help me in my journey, in addition to getting to know a family who, you know, I only knew as friends of the family.
Right. Wow. Yo, you know what's crazy is that you say that, and think about how many times you may have been in the hospital or in a doctor's office, even when you was pregnant with Sydney, right? And they ask you, does anyone in your family have a history of heart disease? Anyone have this, that, or the other? We don't actually know.
Don't know.
Because we don't actually know our family. Like, anything can happen. Like, you talk about, and I'm not taking away from the fact that they don't treat us right, black women right, and giving birth. But imagine if we actually knew our family history.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The stuff that happens.
Taking some of these DNA tests, so that way you can get family history. You know, instead of being afraid, you know, to do. But I understand at the same time. But you know, I think that is a very important factor in taking a lot of these DNA tests, other than finding out where you are originally from and so forth and so on.
Yeah, I think I might do it. I mean, we had a few years ago through DNA testing found out I got an older sister that nobody knew about. You know, her mom, I guess, knew, but we never knew. And through the DNA testing and everything popping up, we all connected and found out my father had a child just before my older brother, when my parents were separated a little bit, you know, before they got married. So we was like, wow, you know, I mean, I'm gonna
throw my wife's business out there a little bit as well. She had a woman come to her and her sister and say that she thought that she was their sister, a woman older than them.
Wow.
Turned out,
yeah.
Thank God it took the DNA test though, because it turned out that she's not related to them.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying? But it could have been the other way, right? And so, but in the meantime, what you have is a situation where my wife is it's like starting to get upset because she's like, yo, I know my mother and father. Like, I know my father.
Or you think
there's no way. You know, it could have been the other way, but it worked out in the right way, this situation, right? In the situation for my butt.
So real quick, two things. One, Ty, I want you to put up Lauren's post about the bodies tell secrets again. That was deep. our bodies manifest our secrets. I really like that because in your case, you're living proof of that, you know. And I really like that. The other thing was bio,
book, by
not
the way.
dad.
So if y'all want to pick that book up, The Body Keeps the Score.
Awesome. Okay. I didn't know that.
What? I just said that.
You know, I don't really read, so
I shouldn't have said nothing.
But your bio, not dad. I wonder, and maybe you already know, maybe you don't know, did he have those feelings before he even started to, you know, figure things out, before his guy told him or whoever told him? Did he have any of those feelings before? And could that have messed up y'all relationship, you know, because he never really fully. Go ahead. When
he disclosed that someone came to him years ago, right behind that, my mother asked him, was that the reason why you and Nicole's relationship? He never answered.
That's crazy.
Because something might have been telling him all along.
Pretty
much. Know?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I just come to the resolve for myself to make peace with myself that is why we did not have a relationship.
Yeah. I mean, God has a funny way of working things out and explaining things that may have been going on for years. And you were, like you said, you asked for the truth. And so this was the truth. And, you know, he has a sense of humor that we sometimes don't find funny.
That's right. That's right.
Got a plan, tell God your plan, and he'll show you his, and you'd be like, ha ha. That wasn't supposed to be right. But so question to all of y'all, do y'all think, because as men, specifically as black men, we walk around a lot of times, you know, supporting kids that ain't our own in a lot of situations. Do y'all believe that DNA testing should be mandatory when a woman gives birth to a child, so that way these situations would not happen where you have found out 47 years later, or it may still happen, but it may not happen as often or as frequent? Do y'all believe DNA testing should be, you know, mandatory when people have kids?
I think so. I want to say yes. Well, okay, let me say this. I definitely say yes, but I wonder if it would ever happen, because as many stories as we got, them white folks, they got more stories.
Yeah.
And they are controlling the finances that go into all that, and the, you know, the backgrounds and the laws and all that stuff. So, you know, that may never happen.
But in a perfect world, would you think that it should be, you know, in a perfect world?
Yeah, definitely. Especially for black people, because we really don't know our ancestry. Our ancestry, for the most part, most of us, doesn't start until slavery. So, you know, and even if you knew then. So I think for us, it's beneficial. You know,
I think it's cheaper than going through the court system. And the only downside to it for the side of the court system and the government is that they don't end up either getting men hemmed up in situations that's not actually their situation, which means they don't have men to put in prison, which means they don't have the men to do free labor, right? Because that's what ultimately ends up. That's what ultimately ends up happening, right? Like, because the reality of it is it's far cheaper for them to do a DNA test for every child that is born than it is to go through a court case for every family that has questions, that then ends up in a man either being put on child support or ended up in prison.
I'm agree with Toya. Toya said that, you know, that she definitely believes it should happen, because she found out, and I'll put her comment back up, that women should be held accountable just like men. Because I believe, you know, they definitely should be held accountable, because holding that type of secret, because yes, you can blame it on a man to a certain degree because he did the do. He stuck his thing, But if, and Cody and I have had this conversation, if the father believes because there are fathers and there are men out there who do want to be involved in their children's lives, that they believe that they have. And if a woman does not allow him to be because she thinks a better man is a better fit for her child, or a better family is a fit for her child. And that man can't stand on nothing. He can't do anything. Imagine your biological father, Cody, coming to you as a 16-year-old, or as a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, go, hey, I think I'm your dad. You know the fit that your mother and her family probably would have had, that he would have approached you without her permission because he wanted to be here. Yet there is a man who is supposedly your dad who is not there in the way that you wanted him to be. I mean, it's women definitely need to be held accountable for the things that they do, because it takes two to tango. It definitely takes two to tango.
Definitely. And it did warm my heart. I have had the opportunity to speak with my biological father once so far. And hearing him say the words, as soon as I picked up the phone, he said, I am grateful that God has finally heard my prayer. I have been watching you from afar for years.
Oh my God.
When you and your husband had your podcast, I followed you and I listened almost every week.
Wow.
I had no idea. But it did something to me because for so long I have been yearning for this relationship and really validation and affirmation, right? And not that I didn't get it from my stepfather, but again, I go back to that bio blood. It's something about that biological connection, at least for me, where I looked at my mother and I looked at who I thought was my father, and I never thought I looked anything like either one of them until I turned 40, and then I thought, okay, I'm a splitting image of my mom. But prior to 40, I didn't think I looked like anybody. And going on,
we do.
Looking at a most recent picture of him, I did a side-by-side of him and I. And I said, there I am. That's my face. That's my eyes, my cheeks, my nose, my teeth, my smile. That's my identity. That's me. And it seemed as if it unlocked something in me that I ended up coming to Ty, and I said, babe, I feel like I can do anything in the world now. Where before I was very apprehensive, didn't have much confidence, but it was something about hearing his words, and I can't even describe to you all. It unlocked something in me to say, now go, my daughter. And
you have your
I'm
answers.
now at a place
Move
where
forward.
I'm ready to do
an
experience, and I'm in a much better place. Granted, I'm still working through it, and thank God for my therapist, because she is thebomb.com. Therapist and prayer, and my husband. But I'm like, the world is my oyster, and I've already lost so much time. I can't afford to lose any more time.
Yeah, to Narada's point, so glad that you're able to talk to both of your biological parents. That nothing has happened to either one of them, that you do have time to have a relationship with him, as well as continue to mend that relationship or foster a different relationship with your mother. Go ahead, Mike.
No, well, I was just gonna say real quick, in between tears here. It was funny, that I was just talking about bio, not dad, maybe knowing, having some inkling, but it's funny how even men have those feelings, and God kind of touches them to let them know something's awry, something's not right. Not only did bio not dad feel that, but bio real dad felt it too. He was following you, and he ain't never know why.
I am, to Narada's point, I feel for, I don't know if you said your cousin. My heart goes out to her. That, both parents, I think if I read that correctly, are no longer living, so she doesn't have answers. My heart really goes out to her, because I can at least say that I'm grateful that both of my bio parents are open to answer my questions. Although my therapist has warned me to manage my expectations and my emotions, because I may not get all of the answers that I'm looking for, but I am grateful that they both are still alive and can, put some pieces of the puzzle together for me. And so I think as part of my purpose, I want to be able to share with, whether it's women and men, all hope is not lost. There is support out here, and I want to be a support in any way I possibly can to let people know that life can continue and you can still have a fulfilling life. Granted, I've got to chart that course myself, but I'm positive from here on out. I'm just grateful for the truth. I am grateful for the truth.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, and I know we have gone over time tonight. We'll go over a little bit longer, just because of the conversation and how it may impact others to be able to go do DNA test, or be able to, as Toya mentioned earlier, come out of the closet with secrets that they may have of their own as well. Y'all know, again, it's Millionaire Man Cave. We do have conversations like this, just amongst us men, about how we handle situations as fathers, how we handle situations as brothers and whatnot. So I do appreciate Cody as a woman coming on the show and sharing her story.
Take it to the
head. Sharing her story with us. But Cody, I'll question, as well. Do you wonder what your life would have been like as a child had you had this information?
But you can't go down that rabbit hole, though, can you?
Well, both of those are very good questions, because Ty, babe, yes, I do. I toyed with that for a few weeks until, Mike, I started going down the rabbit hole and I saw where it was taking me emotionally. And I was like, you know what? I can't afford this. I can't afford to go down the what ifs, because it is what it is and I can't change anything. Granted, I would have loved to have known him as a little girl, especially knowing that we lived on the same block for the first 7 years of my life. But it is what it is. And when I spoke with him, he said, I have great admiration and respect for not only your grandparents, because we lived with my grandparents at the time, but also your mother, as well as your stepfather, because they did a hell of a job. So I can't allow myself to go too far down that rabbit hole. But yes, I've always been, and my family know, one, the crybaby, but two, I dream a lot and God talks to me in dreams. And so I've always wanted to be the little girl who danced on her daddy's feet, right? And I'll never forget moving here when I was 26 years old. I think as a comfort for me, God gave me that in a dream. I couldn't see the man's face, but I saw me at the age of 7 dancing on these feet and holding these hands. And by me having that in my dream, that settled that feeling for me. So I think too, I want people to know that although you may not experience something physically, if it's something that you truly desire, pray about that thing. And if it's God's will, he'll give that to you. It may just not be in the form in which you thought it would come. Yeah. But that sealed that for me. And I've been okay.
Yeah. I told you, God has a hell of a sense of humor. If you one thing, just hold. He's like, hold my beer. Let me tell you. So do you have any plans to, connect with your biological father, Cody?
I do. I have learned, he shared with me that he lives in California. And so I know you guys are taking a Man Cave guys trip to California next month. And I've decided to tag on to that after you guys leave. I'll be coming afterwards to hang out with Ty and my siblings. And so the plan is for me to be able to meet him during that time. And so by doing that, I want you guys to tell me I don't know, if you were the bio father, what would you want to know from me? And maybe by you sharing that, it will kind of prepare me for my meeting with him. Granted, I want it to be organic, but at the same time, I want to be a little prepared too.
That's a good question.
That's mind blowing, because that, to be honest with you, that is something that would have to settle with me, and feelings would brew from the just the realization and just the manner, the stewing in that. That's not the word I wanted. The marinating. That's the word I wanted. Marinating in it will brew different concepts, will brew different questions, but just off the top of my head, I would want to know that you're okay first, with everything. Then, are you okay with me? That would be my first thoughts. I'll say that would be my first thoughts.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Donnell, you got any advice or for when she or John?
And if not, that's understandable too, because I know this is heavy.
I can tell you what I would want.
It really is
that I would want to know. I think I would be of the mind to say something along the lines of, I know this is all new to both of us, and I would like to engage with you and your family in whatever way feels most comfortable.
Okay.
So it will probably be more along, from me, it will probably be more along the lines of, give me some kind of idea. You don't have to have it fully formed, right? Of like how you would want.
Where do you want to go from here?
Engage with me, right? Like, is it is it okay if I FaceTime you? Is it okay if I, plan to have you guys out for dinner? Is it okay if I meet your daughter? Is it like I would ask? Those are questions that I would ask.
Yep.
And I would say, is it okay for me to meet your daughter? Like literally, I would, because I wouldn't want to overstep and be like, is it okay to meet my granddaughter? Right? Like,
yeah.
How would you like me to address you? Like those are all questions that I think I would ask, because you are meeting someone who is a stranger, right?
And a grown woman with a child.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, despite the fact that y'all grew up on the same block, y'all was on the same block for 7 years. What'd you say, Mike?
Now, I was going to say, not to step on John, but I mean, he brought up a really good point. I mean, as a man, I'm like, I don't know if he has any grandkids already, but I either have another or I have a grandchild, a granddaughter. So not only do I now have a daughter, but I also have a granddaughter. I mean, it's for that man.
And 3 bio grands or bonus grands.
Bonus,
the bonus too. Wow, Ty. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so there's so many levels to it. Donnell, what you thinking,
man? Honestly, you know what I mean? Like, I think that I would just want to know, if he hasn't already known, like I would want to know your story. I would probably engage in, I guess the curiosity of, because I'm a very big firm believer that our kids are you know what I'm saying, are, you know what I'm saying, like your kids are either their mother or their father. And personality wise, and you know, maybe Nicole might have grew up feeling like a black sheep. I don't know, but you know, I just feel like when you have that understanding of who your kids are, they're either the dad or the mother, then you know what I mean, like it makes it 10 times better on how to handle certain situations versus, you know what I'm saying, when you know, it might be the situation where you might be raising a bonus kid and you like, oh my God, this isn't me. Like, I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? So, but I definitely agree that there are definitely levels to it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe crawl, because, you know, crawl before we walk, because it's a very emotional thing. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I would want to be all in, God willing, you know what I mean? Meaning like, you know, like I don't want this to be like, you know, we go to California in December and then 6 months later, you know, a year later, you know what I'm saying? This is the next time that I talk to you. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it should be like regular communication. You know, that would be my expectation. Like, I feel like for 40 something years, we have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
If I had a child that I didn't know about, I mean, everything Donnell said, I would want to know everything about you, from not just that person's perspective, but my daughter's perspective. You know, I would want to be able to go down that avenue of, damn, you do that too? You know, so
absolutely.
But at the same time, I don't want to be overzealous, you know, because I don't want to set myself up for disappointment either.
Yeah,
you know?
Because you never know how she may come off, right? So, being that father that has not been around, and to Toya's point again earlier, you know, I hate this, that there is a myth that guys do not want to be around their kids. That we want to pawn our kids off on the mother and so forth. And it sounds like in this situation, that was not a situation that he wanted. So he sounds like that he wants to be involved. He wants to get to know who you are. He wants to get to know your family. He wants to get to know everything about you. So, you know, going with a sort of baited expectation, but at the same time, an expectation of, hey, you know, he's kind of giving me some positive, you know, I don't have to walk on eggshells, you know, to a certain degree around this guy, because he's already sort of kind of opened me, you know, accepted me with open arms by asking, you know, your mom about you. He's, you know, watched the shows that we've done on RATV. He's seen what we did, you know, the radio show. He knows, you know, about you to a certain degree. And now he just really wants to get to know you and wants to see how well you will accept him into your life. So, you know,
I just wanted to say, I don't know if God was telling me this, you know, sometimes I get those little feelings and sometimes, but keep in mind, no matter how bad it goes, no matter how good it goes, keep in mind that this dude, before he even knew he was your dad, he wanted to know about you. He listened to those podcasts. There was a connection there that he didn't know about and you didn't know about. You know, so I feel like, you know, because things will go up and down, you know, but I feel like it's worth saying he wanted to know even before he knew. I just felt like that was worth saying. I don't know if it's God or not, but
I appreciate that. I appreciate all the comments. I've always wanted older brothers, whether y'all are younger than me or not. I see you all in this situation. I see you all as older brothers. So thank you very much for sharing your heart with me. Thank you, babe, for creating a safe space for me to share this.
It's awesome.
I am going to be a better woman because of this. I so believe that. And the best is yet to come. And I am excited to see how I'm going to be able to help other people go through similar situations. That is my heart's desire.
Write a book.
Exactly. Write a book. Exactly. And I mean, and as I've said before, and Cody, you and I have had this conversation as we wrap up the show tonight. You know, everything happens for a reason. and everything happens in God's timing, not our timing. So while we may believe that the things that we want things when we want it, we may not be able to handle it. We may not be able to accept anything that is given to us at the time. So when we want it. So God put this upon you at a time in which He knew that you can handle it. I'm not studying Toya, but I love you. Celebrating your birthday. Just so happy birthday to you, Toya. Go ahead, Cody.
Toya's on point.
I do want to say thank you for all the chat comments. I know that they are cousins and sisters and sister cousins, and thank you very, very much for the support. Y'all have been my rock through this, and I just pray blessings for everybody who, whether it's live now here or those who hear in the future. Pray blessings for everybody, and I'm going to get through this.
Yeah,
I'm going to get through this.
I think it's great that you do have the support system that you have, whether it be again us fellas here on Millionaire Man Cave, or literal family that you have even within your husband or your daughter, or those your cousins, your sister cousins, your brothers and your sisters, actually biological brothers and sisters, and so forth as well. Which we didn't even talk about that part as well, because that that kind of goes into there are some other siblings that you believe you had and your current siblings. Wow. So like I said, like Toya said, there can technically be a part 3, a part 4, part 2, part 3, part 4 to this whole conversation if we decide, to do that at a later date and time. Maybe you may be on Women's Champ. Who knows, Toya? Hint, hint. Women's Champ Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Y'all can catch Toya as she does have these type of conversations where she does support women and uplift women and encourage women as they're going through their journey as well. But we definitely wanted to be able to have, this type of conversation here at Millionaire Man Cave. We do have these conversations, again, sneak peek behind the closed doors of a man cave and what we actually talk about.
This is real man talk.
This is real man talk, because we do go through situations like this even ourselves. So, we encourage everybody to tune in each and every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, right here on Relationship Entertainment Television. See, Toya just said she will be on Women's Champ. Exactly. She will be on Women's Champ one time coming up soon. I know the other LaToya out of Vegas said she can go back and rewatch this, because this was a deep conversation. So shout out to LaToya Watchery for tuning in as well. Shout out to everybody who shared their stories, and hopefully, as Cody said, her being vulnerable and being transparent about the situation that she's currently going through, yes, literally currently going through, as she just learned about this 60 days ago, can help and bless someone else with their story. Toya just said, it makes her not feel ashamed about what she may be going through. Narada shared something about his personal story. John shared something about, his sister earlier. So hopefully, Cody, like you mentioned, the things that you are going through will help someone later on down the line, or even currently or down the line. And however God places it upon your heart to be able to help and give back to those who may be going through similar situations, just know that we are always here to support you, whether it be us as Millionaire Man Cave, Relationship Entertainment Television, or just your family in general, because we love you. So
thank you guys. I love all of you as well. And I super love you, babe.
Of course, as always. Each and every Tuesday right here on Relationship Entertainment Television, better known as RETV. We do appreciate y'all for tuning in. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, whether it be on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, all those good places. And then y'all, again, make sure y'all tune into all the other shows, but make sure y'all tune in right back here next Tuesday, 8 p.m. for a brand new topic, brand new show. Thank you, Cody, for coming on again, sharing your show, sharing your story. Fellas, y'all know what time it is. We out, y'all. Peace.
Peace.